This presentation is over diverse and multicultural literature.
An overview of multicultural literature. Multicultural literature provides illustrations of racial inclusion. It establishes a global community among your students, and the teacher has the responsibility to foster a multicultural environment among their students by using literature. This literature includes every cultural group in your classroom. Diverse perspectives in the United States. 25% of the U.S. population is composed of people who claim a race other than white, according to the 2010 census. More than 20% of families with children aged 5 or older speak a language other than English in their home. This increases the need for children to see themselves as members of a multicultural global community. Gender equity, gender roles, same-sex parents, and partners should also be present in your literature, in addition to people with exceptionalities.
The value of multicultural literature. Rudine Sims Bishop in 1990 developed the metaphor of using windows and mirrors, an idea that emphasizes the values of multicultural literature. Mirrors are shown as readers who see reflections of their own lives in the text that they read, and windows are when readers are able to see into other people's lives. This enables pride in oneself, and when readers are able to connect with characters in books, then they are more likely to be interested and involved. Before the 1960s, children learned to read books primarily with pictures representing Anglo-European people only. This included showing their lives and values. Between 1962 and 1964, only 6.7% of children's books published included any African Americans in illustration or text. From 1973 to 1975, this amount doubled to 14% as a result of the Civil Rights Movement. The largest surge in multicultural publishing was in the early 1990s. The problem that arose with this was that many of the authors were Caucasian and wrote with an outside perspective.
There are some issues related to multicultural literature. To evaluate the influence of multicultural literature on children's understanding of the world around them and to establish criteria for good multicultural literature, we need to consider several issues. Cultural authenticity. One example of a book with cultural authenticity is In My Family by Carmen Lomas Garza. We should also consider perspective. A good example of perspective is in the book The Empty Pot by Demi. We need to consider stereotyping, as in the book The Five Chinese Brothers by Bishops, and identification. Good examples of that are in the Jewish American book Number the Stars by Lois Lowry and the Muslim American book The Color of My Home by Mary Hoffman.
These are some teaching ideas to apply in your classroom. Connecting books with similar themes across differing cultures. Present a set of books that have similar themes but represent different cultures. Examples of themes are the Search for Freedom, Immigration, Coming of Age, Friendships, and Intergenerational Relationships. Have children realize the universality of many themes, but also how the details of the stories differ if they are culturally bound.
Teachers can also use websites in their classroom to connect with multicultural literature. Await.org works to review and evaluate books and teaching material to check for authentic portrayals of cultural groups, such as the Native Americans.
It's important to identify good multicultural books. A source that we used was from the Library of Congress. Some of the books on this list are here. Picture books, The American, My New Home, in English, of course, and The Thanksgiving Door. Some fictional books on the list were Children of the River, Maya Running, and Border Crossing.
Another way to identify multicultural books appropriate for your classroom is by the awards that they have earned. Examples of this include Gone Crazy in Alabama, Rita Williams Garcia has written a convincing, often humorous portrayal of three young sisters from Brooklyn spending the summer in the South. Another is Turning 15 on the Road to Freedom. It's about a story of the 1965 Selma Voting Rights March. It's the thrilling and moving account of Linda Blackman Lowry's experiences as the youngest member of the Selma to Montgomery March. Lastly is The Full Cicada Moon, praising Hilton's engaging examination of racial, gender, and social issues, as well as the powerful verse in which it was elegantly told.
In conclusion, teachers can choose from a variety of professional materials dealing with literature that reflects diversity.